today I wanted to do a bit of a rant video. Now I never usually do rant videos anymore because nothing really bothers me. But this is something that has been bugging me for a few weeks. And as usual, this video isn't planned. I was just lying in my bed thinking about it and it started to annoy me. And I thought, right, I'm going to go on and just talk about it. Just do a rant. Maybe it's going to make sense, maybe it's not. But I just want to get it off my chest and see what you think about it at home. So today I wanted to talk about MHRA, FDA and NHS. This is a completely random thing for me to even talk about in this channel. But a couple of weeks ago I had bought the snow tooth whitening kit. And I was looking up other reviews to see what people said about it before I tried it. And there was a video and they were talking about how, is it safe? It must be safe because it's FDA approved. And I thought, that is not good advice. Nobody should ever be saying that. Like, they have the FDA in America. And when you actually look up the things that the FDA have approved, it's ridiculous. Like, they've got medications that are 50 times more addictive than heroin. There's so many things that's been recalled. Just because something's been FDA approved, it doesn't make it safe. Like, in the UK, we've got MHRA. And that does not make it safe just because they've approved it. Not to mention the fact that even if something is approved and it is safe to a certain degree, you've then got to put trust in your doctor. And this is what I was remembering earlier on today, and I thought I'm going to make a video about this and just discuss it. So I'm allergic to codeine, and a few years ago I wasn't well. I went to the doctor. The doctor knew that I was allergic to codeine. I had it on my file, and they had prescribed me Zapane. I think it's called Zapane or Chapane or whatever it is. I came home and took it, and I was lying in bed and I thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was taking a heart attack. I couldn't breathe. My heart was in so much pain. And I didn't understand what was wrong with me. Like, I genuinely couldn't breathe or anything. So then when I looked up the ingredients of these tablets, they had codeine in them. I called the doctors and I says, like, I'm allergic to codeine and I've been prescribed these painkillers. Now, I know you're probably going to say, you should have looked at what was in them. You should have looked at what was in the painkillers. But my doctor knew that I was allergic to codeine, so it didn't cross my mind to check to see if they had codeine in them. So obviously I always check that now. But then about 2 or 3 years ago, I was really, really sick, right? So I had been prescribed tablets and they weren't helping me. So I went back to the doctor and the doctor then prescribed me the tablet that I was taking plus another couple of tablets. And when I had my hospital appointment, they asked me to hand in all the tablets that I had been taking. So when the doctor was reading through everything, he was saying, I hope you've not been taking these painkillers with these tablets. And I says, aye, there's my prescription. I was told to take 2 of them and 2 of them together. And the doctor was like, taking these tablets together can rupture your stomach. It can actually kill you. And I was prescribed these together in one thing. Do you know what I mean? I went down to the chemist and I got them in one bag. Now, obviously, I'm not going to know that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a medical professional. The doctor prescribes you to take something and you take it. So, I mean, technically, I could have took legal action over that, right? Because the doctor literally could have killed me. But it just goes to show you that just because something's approved, it doesn't make it safe. Then you've got to trust that the doctor knows what they're prescribing. Over on my other channel, I'm going to be doing true crime. And one of the things that I'm going to be covering is the thalidomide babies. So obviously that is a drug it was a legal drug and they were giving it to people to help them sleep. And then their babies weren't like producing limbs properly or they were miscarrying their babies. And this was something, again, that was FDA approved. Do you know what I mean? You can't just trust these things. Now, just briefly, I'm going to mention the COVID vaccine. And I'm not getting into a debate about this, but people are so willing to just say, oh, it's safe because it's approved, and that's it, and then they go and get it and then they don't think twice about it. But it hasn't really been tested for that long, and I know that they're saying, oh, it's went through all these amount of tests and it's fine. And if people out there want to go and get vaccinated, 100% go. Do you know what I mean? It's up to you. But the thing is, people just so blindly accept that something's accepted because it's FDA approved. And it really blows my mind. One thing that I love about American TV is the adverts, like see the medical adverts. It's like the best thing. So you're sitting watching the telly and the medical adverts come on and you're like, yes, here we go. So no matter what it is, like I was watching this one and it was medication for like to prevent a stroke. So then how at the end and it tells you everything really fast and it's like, may cause anal leakage, may cause death. That was a really bad American accent, sorry. But the side effects for this medication was stroke or death. Like almost anything in America that's on these medical adverts, it tells you it's going to cause death. They also had this thing and it was like a deodorant stick and the person woke up and they were like, oh, I've got a sore head, oh. And then they picked up this stick and they put it across their head and then it was like 20 minutes later and they were like, oh, like going to work and walking the dog and all that. But then down in the bottom corner it says that it doesn't have any medical benefits and it's not proven to like help sore heads or anything. But if you don't read that at the bottom, you're just buying this and it's the placebo effect, as a lot of painkillers are. But they're just going like, oh yeah, my migraine's gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things out there that are approved as well. Like codeine. Codeine is a really addictive, dangerous drug. And okay, it's a good painkiller, right, for people who are not allergic to it. But you can't just put your trust in these things blindly. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was the NHS. So there's so many people right now that are complaining about the NHS, right? I live in Scotland, so in Scotland we get free prescriptions. So a lot of people are like, oh, they're not free because you pay national insurance. Right, like national insurance is like nothing compared to what you would pay if you lived in America or if you had to actually pay for your prescriptions. Like when I get my prescriptions, I get a big, massive bag like this every month, right? God knows how much that would cost. That's not including my birth control. That's also free and I get that annually. But some people, not all, but some people in the UK are so ungrateful when it comes to the NHS. Like in America, you have to pay, I don't know the exact amount, but let's say you call an ambulance and it's like $500 to get that ambulance out. In the UK it's free. And there's so many people who call ambulances when it's not an emergency. Or there's literally people who call an ambulance because they've got like a mad fetish for paramedics and they just want them to come to their house. And I genuinely think that if somebody calls an ambulance and there's nothing wrong with them or it's something stupid like that, or they're a hypochondriac and they've been told like there's nothing wrong with you, stop phoning the ambulance, every time they phone out an ambulance they should be fined. Or just charged like £500, £1,000, like whatever. Like the more times they keep phoning, the more the amount should go up and they should be made to pay it or they should go to jail. People are just so ungrateful. Like a few years ago when I wasn't well, I was getting sent constantly. I was at the hospital every other week. I was getting MRIs, CTs, I was getting like all my neck scanned, heart scans, getting my blood took constantly. Like, we don't have to pay to get our blood tested or anything. And I was really shocked to find out that when people in America need to get like, their blood took, it's like $200 or $250 per thing. And I was going and I was getting like 4 or 5 of these took at a time every other week. And people have got an actual cheek to moan about national insurance. Like, okay, you don't want money took out your wages. And okay, there's some people who want private healthcare. So if you've got private healthcare, maybe you shouldn't pay national insurance and then you just go to your private doctor and pay £50,000 for an MRI scan or however much it costs. But overall, like, how can you even complain? Do you know what I mean? Okay, sometimes you go into the hospital and you need to wait a long time and you don't want to wait and you think that you should be seen like that because you think you're more important than every other person who exists on earth. But people just don't see the bigger picture. I don't even know how much my national insurance is. I don't even look at it, right? But I think for all the medical care that I've had in my life and all the medical care that I'm going to have, all the scans I've had, all the bloods I've had checked, everything, then I'm willing to pay my national insurance and not moan about it. But anyway, that isn't even what this video was about. What I'm trying to say is, just because something is FDA approved doesn't make it safe. It's really getting to me that people so blindly just take painkillers and all that. Like, I take painkillers that are really quite dangerous, right? So I have now been on these painkillers for 2-3 years possibly. And when you look these up, you read the leaflet and everything, it says don't take for any longer than 6 months. And it tells you all the side effects. So obviously I've said to my doctor, and my doctor's like, no, it's fine. Just keep taking them. And one of the reasons that I have to keep taking them is because I can't take any other painkillers because they've got codeine in them. So obviously I can't take that, do you know what I mean? And I don't really have any other option. And I try and cut down on the amount of painkillers that I take, but either I take them and my pain is reduced a wee bit, or I don't take them and I feel as if I'm going to die and I literally can't function. Do you know what I mean? They're FDA approved or MHRA approved, but they're really, really dangerous. And I'm choosing to take them, but I know the side effects and I know the risks. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was people who are just so blindly willing to go and take these things without even questioning it, to go and get, let's just say vaccinated or like whatever, they're willing to just go and get anything and they don't even think about what might happen to them. Now this video isn't about the COVID vaccine. It's just about how, really it's about when I bought that tooth whitening kit and this review was like, oh, it's FDA approved so it must be safe. And that's just not the case. Like, you can't say that to people. Do you know what I mean? And also, I know that this video is just a bit all over the place, but I was literally just sitting in bed thinking about this and I was like, people so blindly, they just so blindly go and take all these medications and just trust their doctor. Like the way I trusted my doctor. I trusted my doctor to take painkillers that had codeine in them. I trusted my doctor to take a concoction of painkillers that I was then told a couple of weeks later could have killed me, could have ruptured my stomach and could have killed me. Should I have went home and sat in the house and looked up, can you take this with this? No, I shouldn't have to do that. That's the doctor's job to do that. It's the doctor's job to tell me what I can take, and then all I should have to do is trust that that doctor knows what they're doing and that they're not trying to kill me. I mean, doctors are only human and they make mistakes like everybody else, but their mistakes can cost lives. Do you know what I mean? And I know that it's really stressful right now because everybody's sick and they've got so much work and they've got like a heavy workload and it's just stress. But at the time, this was before COVID even happened, and I was prescribed these tablets that literally could have killed me. And also, I was thinking about the NHS because I had watched a TikTok video of this woman from America and she was talking about how much everything cost. And she says that since she's came to the UK, the first medical bill she's had to pay was for her dog. It was a vet bill. And then people in the comments were saying, oh, you've got national insurance. Oh, it's not free. It's not free. And I just thought, do you know what? You should be able to opt out of national insurance. It should be a thing. Like, you should have a card, like a national insurance card. And it should be like, do you pay national insurance? No. Okay, you have to get a CT scan, there's your bill. Do you pay national insurance? Aye. Right, okay, there's your CT scan. See you later. Do you know what I mean? There's your prescription. See if these people who moan about national insurance actually looked at how much it would cost in America, they would just shut up like that. They have got absolutely no idea. They've got no idea. In America, right, when you have a baby and you want to hold your baby, you have to pay for that. Anytime I watch any American TV show, like I was watching Sunset Beach, and they were going to get a checkup and the doctor was in every 5 minutes with their clipboard like, oh, routine checkup. And I'm like, right, £1,000, £1,000. I don't know if that's how much it costs, right? Even if it's £100, they're coming in and they're like, oh, routine checkup on you and the baby. Money. That's all it is. That's all it's about. In the UK, you pay national insurance. Big wow. Do you know what I mean? People are just so ungrateful. I really haven't done a rant video in a while, right? And things really don't annoy me that much because I meditate. I'm a calm person. And generally speaking, other human beings don't bother me because I'm like, do you know what? If that person wants to be a cunt, let them be a cunt. If that person wants to be in a bad mood with me because they hate their life, let them be in a bad mood with me. They don't exist. But when it comes to like ungratefulness, free prescriptions, or getting your blood took, or a simple thing like holding your baby without being charged for it, and then they're moaning that they need to pay however much national insurance, however much it is. I don't even know because I don't even look. But I know somebody who used to live in Holland and they would get their birth control monthly, right? So it was like euros or whatever, so it was like €30 a month. I don't know how much it costs in America, you can let me know. Let's just say even if it's $15 a month, right? There's people out there who don't have a lot of money. I don't know how benefits work in America, if you get like child benefits or tax credits or whatever. But here, if you've got a child, you get a certain amount of money. So they're paying for birth control, and there's people who genuinely can't afford to eat. And $15 for somebody or $30 for birth control, that can be a difference between eating and not eating. That can be a difference between travelling to work or having to walk to work, do you know what I mean? Or not being able to get your bus pass or whatever. And people are so blind to this. Like, they're living in their bubble and they're thinking, oh, I just deserve all this stuff for free. I should be able to phone an ambulance because I've got a paper cut in my finger. Do you know what I mean? And meanwhile, there's people in other countries who literally can't even phone an ambulance because it's going to cost them hundreds of dollars. I know that this rant's like all over the place, but it's just all related, you know. Let me know in the comments what country you live in. How much do your prescriptions cost? Like, even if you live in England, I think that you still pay for some prescriptions. And then also you must pay for national insurance as well. I don't really know how it works. But let me know. Like, what country do you come from? How much do you pay for birth control? How much do you pay for painkillers? Like, have you had to go and get an MRI scan or get your bloods took? How much do these things cost? I really would like to know, because for me, it's like free. I pay national insurance on my wages, and I don't care. Have it. Pay the nurses, pay for to get my MRI scans, pay for all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Really, I'm not grudging it whatsoever. And also when it comes to like FDA approved things, when you're watching those medical adverts in America, they actually crack me up, but it's really not that funny. Like insulin, for example. I know quite a few diabetic people and they go and get their insulin for free. Now, insulin in America is hundreds of dollars a month. Hundreds of dollars just to stay alive. And I was watching a documentary about insulin in America and they were saying it costs like 1 cent or something to produce this. Let's just say it was $1, right, to produce it. And they're charging hundreds of dollars a month for somebody just to stay alive. Then they can't even afford to eat. They can't afford to pay their rent. They can't afford to put petrol in their car to get to work. It's insane. And then you've got people in the comments on TikTok saying, oh, we pay national insurance. Wake up. Actually wake up and get a grip of your life. It drives me insane. This isn't even just about America, right? Like, I don't know what happens in other countries. Like, I know that some other countries get free prescriptions and some don't. Like, I'm not like an expert in how much you pay for your prescriptions. This is why I'm asking. Like, let me know what you think. Do you grudge paying national insurance? Would you rather not pay national insurance and go and actually pay a doctor? I know what I would rather do. I'd rather just pay my national insurance and go to the doctors when I need it. Aye, okay, you might not be seen fast enough. Aye, okay, you might feel like your treatment isn't the best. Like, aye, okay, I went to the doctor and I was prescribed something that literally could have killed me. But guess what? I didn't go for my MRI scan and got hit with a 20 grand bill or however much it is. Do you know what I mean? I'm calm. This is the most random rant I've ever done in my life. But I just wish that people would be more thankful for the things they've got. Do you know what I mean? And in America right now, they're sacking the nurses who haven't been vaccinated, regardless of the fact that it isn't the law. I don't know about every state, but it isn't the law in every state that you have to be vaccinated. So there's some nurses who are deciding not to be vaccinated, and then they're sacking them. And I'm like, right, okay, do what you need to do, America, right? But let's just say there was another 9/11 situation. Now, let's hope there's not, right? But imagine there was, like during COVID here, we had adverts asking people to come out of retirement and stuff like that to go and help in the hospitals because they were overrun supposedly. But if something like that happened in America and they were calling for people and they're like, oh my God, we need people on site, we need help, blah, blah, blah. And then these nurses who are not vaccinated come up to help. Is the army going to stop them and say, oh, do you have your vaccination passport? Oh, have you been double jabbed? Oh, you've not? Right, okay, you can't help. See you later. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to say, we need your help. That's all I'm saying. And I hope these nurses who have been sacked in America for not being vaccinated, if they ever get called up to help something, if they ever get called up in an emergency, I hope they say, no, you're all right, I think I'll just stay home today. Do you know what? You deal with that yourself. This is obviously something that's annoying me, so I don't know how long have I been ranting for. 22 minutes. 22 minutes of just talking pure crap. That's just my life. Anyway, I'm sure you've heard enough of me ranting already. I've only been off YouTube for like a week and you've probably had enough of me already. Let me know what you think of what I've been saying in the comments. You'll probably never want another rant video again. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you think I talk total crap and you want to unsubscribe, I understand. This has been a lot. Thanks for watching. Bye.